China shocked. Thousands of U.S. troops, tanks and equipment arrive in Subic Bay, Philippines. After 32 years, an American military presence is set to return to Subic Bay under a new Marine Corps prepositioning program that will see the service stage equipment in the Philippines. Last month, the U.S. Marine Corps quietly leased a 57,000 square foot warehouse at the former Subic Bay Naval Supply Depot. The service will lease the facility from Amerasia International Terminal Services Incorporated, which operates the warehouse alongside Anglicotech Philippines and KBR Overseas Inc. Colonel Luke Watson, commanding officer of Blunt Island Command, claimed in a Subic Bay Management Authority release that the facilities would only store vehicles, communications equipment, and engineering assets. He further stated that no munitions would be stored at the former Naval Supply Depot. Watson also met with local administrators to discuss logistics and port operations at Subic Bay. Local Philippine and Marine Corps releases emphasize that the warehouse would be used for humanitarian assistance and disaster response efforts in country and across the Indo-Pacific. Washington and Manila have previously cooperated on constructing similar storage facilities at select military bases under the 2014 Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, a treaty that permits American rotational deployment and funding to mutually agreed sites across the Philippines. This is a great stride for the Subic Bay Freeport in assisting foreign allies in their thrust to provide humanitarian aid and relief assistance in the Indo-Pacific region, said Subic Bay Management Authority Chairman and Administrator Eduardo Jose L. Alino. The Naval Supply Depot warehouse is set to host equipment under the new Marine Corps Prepositioning Program Philippines. A new addition under Blunt Island Command, the Philippines-based staging will be the first of its kind outside of the Marine Corps Prepositioning Program, Norway. Listings related to the program with American defense contractor KBR began appearing last August. According to the job summaries, while initial training will take place in Jacksonville, Florida, the same location as Blunt Island Command, the final posting will be at Subic Bay. A request for information on USMC prepositioning plans and data support covering Marine Corps Prepositioning Program Philippines was also released in early March. Plans to establish a staging facility at Subic Bay date back to 2023 via the Aguila Equipment Staging Program. Named after a 300-hectare shipyard procured by American investment firm Cerberus Capital Management, the program covered field maintenance and supply support according to Marine Forces specific sources cited in a Naval Postgraduate School thesis analyzing prepositioning in the Philippines. The thesis claimed that Vecturus, an American defense logistics contractor with a facility at Aguila Subic, was contracted for the plan. However, the current status of the staging program is unclear. While U.S. forces withdrew from Subic Bay in 1992, American warships and troops have refueled and offloaded for exercises at the strategic port since. Military Sea Lift Command vessels have also conducted repairs at the former base. In recent years, Subic Bay has seen the activation of the Philippine Navy's largest base and a surge of American troops every spring for large-scale military exercises. Washington and Manila have stepped up military cooperation amid Beijing's increasingly assertive actions in the South China Sea, which have led to clashes between Philippine and Chinese forces. Since 2023, American support has included a task force based in the Philippines, Marine Corps drones, Navy overflights of contested maritime features, a strategic deployment of the Army's Typhoon mid-range capability in northern Luzon, and transfers of unmanned surface vessels. The Department of the Navy is looking to lease a climate-controlled facility between 19,000 and 33,000 square meters near Subic Bay and Clark for the storage of equipment in the Philippines by 2026 under a 10-year-long lease, which could mark the largest prepositioning effort to date between Washington and Manila since 1992. According to solicitation documents on the proposed lease, this new facility would be utilized for storage and maintenance of vehicles and vehicle equipment. While the Navy specified its preference for a 33,022 square meter facility, the minimum requirements encompass 19,979 square meters. Both projections dwarf a previously leased 5,300 square meter warehouse at Naval Support Depot in Subic Bay, which is set to support U.S. Marine Corps staging efforts in the Philippines and throughout the region. Navy documents specify that the climate-controlled facility must be within 60 miles of the Naval Support Depot and under the jurisdiction of either the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority or the Clark Economic Freeport Zone. The port of Subic Bay, formerly Naval Station Cuby Point, receives a flurry of American maritime activity every spring as U.S. forces surge into the Philippines for military drills. Subic Bay has been the recent focus of alleged Chinese spies, who documented U.S. vessels entering the strategic bay and equipment being staged for Bagong 2025. If the project adheres to the Navy's preferences, the dimensions of the planned warehouse at Luzon are larger than Marine Corps Prepositioning Plan, Norway's largest stockpile at Tromsdal. Numerous maintenance shops for electronics, vehicles and communications equipment were also specified in the solicitation. While the storage of munitions was not explicitly mentioned, an Armag high-security modular armory facility is set to be provided by the Marine Corps. Approximately 69 to 100 personnel are expected to work at the facility. Amid tensions in the South China Sea and the Taiwan Strait, U.S.-Philippine defense cooperation has seen ever-increasing numbers of American troops in the archipelago to train alongside their counterparts in drills such as Bagong. However, these forces have had to contend with a lack of infrastructure. The withdrawal of American military bases from the Philippines over 3 decades ago also meant the departure of equipment storage and maintenance facilities. In recent years, American investments in improving U.S.-Philippine military infrastructure have expanded at Subic Bay and the 9 Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement sites. These select Philippine military bases allow rotationally deployed U.S. forces and American-funded projects. If pursued, the lease will permit American forces to store and maintain equipment on Philippine soil from 2026 to 2036. The solicitation also specified that the Navy seeks a lease with no renewal options.